Hello students, welcome to CET Sankalp classes. Our next topic is electric potential and capacitance. So before going for the synopsis, MCQs, let us see some synopsis, some basic formulas. So here we have the first definition and the first formula of this content. That is, what do you mean by electric potential? See, already you people know what do you mean by electric charge, what do you mean by electric field. So this electric potential, after electric charge and electric field, you are going to learn this chapter, right? So this electric potential, it is nothing but it is a potential at a point is analytically defined as a scalar function of position whose gradient at that point gives the electric intensity. So here you can see, you can define in two different ways also. So basically how we define electric potential, it is nothing but it is the work done per unit charge is called as what? Electric potential. So here what we are seeing here, potential, we are defining it as negative gradient of electric intensity is also taken as what? Electric potential. So this electric potential is denoted by the letter V, right? So therefore E is equal to, that is electric intensity is equal to minus dV by dr is the formula for electric potential, or you can also take it as the relation between electric potential and the electric field. Okay. Next, so here the electric potential, it is produced by a point charge, that is V is equal to Q into K into Q divided by R, where K is the constant value and the value of K is, I think you people already know the value of K, it is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. So Q divided by R, Q is the charge, R is the distance between the point charge here, right? So principle of superposition. So principle of superposition is nothing but what? It is the sum of the potential at a given point. It is the sum of the potential at a given point. So this principle of superposition, it is valid for, so where all it is valid, let us see here. For discrete distribution of charge, we can apply the principle of superposition. Suppose if the point is, if the given surface is having the potential V1, V2, V3, so on up to Vn, then the discrete distribution of charge is given by V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus and so on up to Vn. So that is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, we need to add all the potentials. Then we need to take a common. Common is the constant of 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, summation of Qi divided by Ri, where Q is the charge. So actually here we will get it as Q1 plus Q1 by R1 plus Q2 by R2 plus and so on up to Qn by Rn. So there in general, you can take summation and you can write it as Qi divided by Ri, where the I value is running from 1 to n here. So this is what principle of superposition. So let us see the next slide. Here, for continuous charge distribution, treating the element as a point, it is given by, the formula is given by V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught integration of dq by r. Okay, now what is potential difference? So potential we know already. Now the potential difference, this is, you can take 2 points, one you can take it as A and another point you can take it as B. So the potential difference VAB is given by E into dr, where the integration is running from A to B, because you are displacing the charge from the point A to B. Therefore here the lower limit is A and upper limit is B. Right, its value does not depend on the frame of reference, hence it is an absolute quantity. Its value does not depend on the frame of reference, therefore we say it as it is an absolute quantity. Okay, next we have equipotential surface. So equipotential surface, as the term indicates, equi means it is equal, potential, so equal potential is nothing but what? Equipotential surface. So the heading only defines the definition. For a given charge distribution, locus of all points having same potential is called equipotential surfaces. This equipotential surface can never cross each other, right? Why? Because suppose if they cross each other, then the at the point of intersection, the surface will be having two potential value, which is not possible according to the definition, which is not possible here. Therefore, we say that equipotential surfaces never cross each other, right? Next, equipotential surfaces are always perpendicular to electric line of force. It is always perpendicular to electric lines of force. The next property, if a charge is moved from one point to other over an equipotential surface, work done will be zero. If a charge is moved from one point to the other point, here the work done will be what? It is zero. Why? Because in a given surface, suppose if you have one surface here, you can take one figure and you can understand that. Okay. Suppose this is one equipotential surface. If you imagine this as a equipotential surface, here what they are saying, suppose this point is having potential VA. According to the definition, the entire surface is having the potential same, that is VA itself, or 5 volt, you can assume it, right? So if you are moving the charge from one point to other point, here as the potential value is same, the work done will be how much? The work done will be zero here. Therefore, we say that in moving a charge from one point to other point, the work done will be zero. Okay. Next, the intensity of electric field along an equipotential surface is always zero. It is always what? It is zero. Okay. So these are some properties of equipotential surfaces we have seen, so that it will help us to write some direct answers. It is always perpendicular to electric field lines. They never intersect with each other. Here, the work done will be zero in moving a charge from one point to other point. The intensity of electric field along an equipotential surface is always zero. These are what? Some properties of equipotential surface and the definition of equipotential surface. Next, electric potential energy. So what is electric potential energy? The electric potential energy of a system of a point charges is always as the work done in assembling this system of charges from an infinite distance apart from one another. The electric potential energy of a system of point charges is always defined as it is the work done in assembling the system of charges from an infinite distance apart from one another. You can see in the figure and you can understand there, right? So here this is also a work done in assembling the charges from infinite distances is called as what? Electric potential energy. Okay. So the formula for electric potential energy, it is denoted by U here, and the formula is K into Q1 into Q2 divided by R12 is equal to Q1 V2. So this is the formula for electric potential energy. Next, we have the relation or the formulas for electric field and potential. That is point charge. For a point charge, this is E is equal to K into Q divided by R square. This is electric intensity, electric field. Then potential is given by K into Q divided by R. Here you can see the difference between electric field and the potential formula. In the numerator, we have K into Q only. In the denominator, for field, we have R square, and for potential, we have R. So group of point charges. So for group of point charges, here, the formula is for electric field, it is K into Qi by Ri square. Here it is K into Qi by Ri only. Okay, here I is running the value from 1 to n. Next, uniform distribution of charges. So here what you are seeing, actually you are seeing the difference between the formulas for electric field and the potential. Now, uniform distribution of charges E is equal to K integration of dq divided by R square. That is equal to K integration of dq divided by R square only. Here we are writing charge as in terms of density and the volume. right? So here you can see the other formula here, that is, it is given by rho into dV divided by R square. Next, charged spherical shell or charged conducting sphere. So here the formula is, 1 minute. Okay. Charged spherical shell or for conducting sphere, the electric field is given by K into Q divided by R square into R cap. Next, for potential, it is K into Q divided by R. Here in all the formulas, only the difference is denominator term. Okay. Next, electrostatic potential energy. So what is electrostatic potential energy? In case of a dipole, potential energy of dipole is defined as work done in rotating a dipole from perpendicular to the field to the given direction is called as what? Electrostatic potential energy. Okay. So here you can see the formula for electrostatic potential energy is given by P into E, right? Where P is the momentum or dipole moment, E is electric field intensity. So here, this is what actually the formula for electric intensity and the potential energy, that is U is equal to minus P into E. So why minus comes, you can see from the above step, that is 1 minus cos theta is there. So 1 minus cos theta is minus cos theta itself. Therefore, minus P into E. Suppose if you take that is cos 90. So what is cos 90? Cos 90 is 0. Cos 0 is 1. So from the above step, you can understand how that potential energy is equal to electrostatic potential energy is equal to, you are getting P into E. Okay. Next. E is a conservative field. So whatever work is done in rotating a dipole from theta 1 to theta 2 is just equal to change in electrostatic potential energy. Okay, so suppose instead of taking angles 0 and 90 degree, if you take it as theta 1 and theta 2, the formula becomes that is PE is equal into bracket cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Then next formula is electrostatic pressure, or it is also taken as energy density. The electric force per unit area of charged surface, it is defined as electrostatic pressure. So what is electrostatic pressure? It is the force per unit area. Okay, you can see the formula also. That is electrostatic pressure is equal to sigma square divided by 2 epsilon naught. So I hope you know what is epsilon naught. It is permittivity, right? So next we have, that is capacitance. What do you mean by capacitance here, students? Capacitance is nothing but it is some device. So what this device will do actually, this capacitance or a capacitor, here capacitance is the ability of a conductor, or it is a measure of a conductor to store the charges on it, is called as what? Capacitance. So this capacitor is a device to store those charges. So when a conductor is charged, then its potential rises. The increase in the potential is directly proportional to the increase in the potential is directly proportional to the charge given to the conductor, that is Q is equal to C into V, where C is known as what? Capacitance of a capacitor. Okay, so Q is the charge, V is the potential. So how much charge it will accumulate, it depends on the potential what you are giving to the conductor. So for a capacitance, it is a scalar quantity. Its dimensional formula here you can see it is m l raised to minus 1, t raised to l raised to minus 2, m raised to minus 1, l raised to minus 2, t raised to 4, into a raised to 2. So this is what dimensional formula for capacitance of a capacitor, and the unit is farad, or you can also take it as coulomb per volt. Coulomb per volt is also the unit of capacitance of a capacitor. So position. Next, so you just see the down this thing. This is not there, okay? It is not there. You just see the down part. There is a capacitance of a spherical conductor. So the capacitance of a spherical conductor is given by when a charge Q is given to an isolated spherical conductor, then its potential rises. Then its potential rises here, and the potential is given by V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R. Okay, or C is equal to Q by V. Then if you simplify, you will get it as 4 pi epsilon naught into R. This is what the capacitance of a spherical conductor. If a conductor is placed in a medium, then its capacitance is given by 4 pi epsilon into R. Here, in terms of relative permittivity also, you can write it. That is 4 pi epsilon naught into epsilon R into R. Okay, epsilon R is what? It is the relative permittivity. Epsilon is what? That is a permittivity of a given medium. Epsilon naught is what? That is permittivity of a free space. Okay. Done. So here, when a charge Q is given by, you just remember the formula here, the capacitance of a capacitor is given by, that is 4 pi epsilon naught into epsilon R into capital R. So capital R is the radius of that given surface, given spherical surface. Okay. Next. Next, energy stored in a capacitor. The formula for energy stored in a capacitor is given by U is equal to Q square divided by 2C. So charge and the relation between charge, capacitor, and potential, you already know, that is Q is equal to C into V. Therefore, Q square is equal to, it becomes C square into V square. So C, if you get cancels, then you will get 1 by 2 C into V square. That is equal to 1 by 2 Q into V. So the potential energy, the energy stored in a capacitor, you can write 3 formulas. One is Q square divided by 2C, and the other one is CV square, 1 by 2 into CV square. Another formula is 1 by 2 into Q into V. Then delta U is equal to UI minus UI. So if you take the difference of that, you will get it as minus 1 by 2 C1 into C2 by C1 plus C2 into V1 minus V2 whole square. Here, the negative sign indicates that energy of the system decreases in the process. Here, the negative sign, what it shows that the decrease in the energy is taking place. Then next, we have types of capacitor, means types of capacitor in the sense, Here you can see the parallel plate capacitor. You have spherical capacitor, then cylindrical, different types are there. So for our study, first we have that is parallel plate capacitor. The capacitance of such a capacitor is given by epsilon naught into epsilon r into A divided by D. Here D is the distance between the two plates or the two conductors. Epsilon naught, epsilon r, you already know. A is the area of the plate. If a medium between the plates is air or vacuum, then epsilon r is equal to what? It is 1. So C naught is equal to epsilon naught into A divided by D. So you can also write it as C is equal to epsilon r into C naught. Okay. The force between the plates, it is given by, that is q square divided by 2 epsilon naught into A. That is also equal to 1 by 2 epsilon naught A into E square. So force per unit area or energy density or electrostatic pressure is given by F divided by A, or it is also equal to 1 by 2 epsilon naught into E square. So for spherical capacitor, outer sphere is earthened. If the outer sphere is earthed here, then you can see the inner sphere is having the radius r1 and the outer sphere is having the radius r2. Then in presence of medium between the plates, the capacitance is given by 1, that is 4 pi epsilon naught into epsilon r, r1 r2 divided by r2 minus r1. Here you just need to remember the formula for the parallel plate. What is the formula? Parallel plate capacitor. Then for spherical plate capacitor, what is the formula? Then next, inner sphere earthed. If the inner sphere is earthed, the total capacitance of the system is given by. Here you can see the formula, that is C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught r1 into r2 divided by r2 minus r1 plus 4 pi epsilon naught into r2. Okay, r1, r2, you can see the radius of the inner sphere and the outer sphere. So previous formula, it was for when the outer sphere was earthed, and the second, this formula is when the inner sphere is earthed. Okay, so for cylindrical capacitor, its capacitance is given by. So first formula, it is in presence of a medium. The formula is 2 pi epsilon naught into epsilon r into L divided by log to the base E into bracket R2 divided by R1. So this is for cylindrical capacitors. Next, if there are two long parallel conductors are there, then its capacitance is given by pi epsilon naught into L divided by log A to the base E D divided by A, where A is diameter of a conductor. Okay, D is the distance between the two parallel conductors here. Then the next concept is, there is combination of capacitors. We can combine or we can combine two capacitors in two ways. One is in series and the other one is in parallel here, right? Okay. So when the capacitors in series, you can see when they are connected in series, the charge on each capacitor is equal to, that is C1 V1 for the first capacitor, and for second capacitor C2 V2. The total potential difference is given by what? V1 plus V2 here. Next, if we simplified for series combination, you can see that is two capacitors are connected end-to-end connection. So the equivalent capacitance is given by That is C is equal to 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Okay. So if you replace the two capacitors with one capacitor, the effective capacitance is given by 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So when the capacitors are connected in parallel, in such an arrangement of capacitors, the charge has an alternative path to flow. Therefore, the value or the capacitance, equivalent capacitance is given by C1 plus C2 for parallel combination, right? So you need to remember the formulas so that directly we can solve some examples. Okay, so let us go for the multiple choice questions. In that, the first question is, in a region of space, the electric field is 0. From this, we can conclude that the electric potential in this region is, see what they are saying, in some region, the electric field is 0. So what we can conclude for the electric potential? So already we know the relation between field and the potential. In the beginning of the slide only, we discussed about the relation between field and the potential. So by that, you can directly take this. Okay, solution, you can write it as electric field is equal to, that is dV by dr. So what they are saying, the electric field value is 0. So when this is 0, it means that 0 is equal to minus dV by dr. So when the dV by dr will be 0, when the potential is constant, its differentiation is 0, right? Therefore, option A is the correct option. I hope you understood this. Here, when the potential is constant, the electric field will be 0 here. Next here, one figure is there. You can see that is two charges. One is small q and the other one is capital Q. The value of the charges, it is given 2 nanocoulomb and the other charges 3 nanocoulomb. And we have the distances A and B values. So see, if A is equal to 30 centimeter, B is equal to 20 centimeter, and Q is equal to 2 nanocoulomb, and capital Q is equal to minus 3 nanocoulomb in the figure. What is the potential difference? That is VA minus VB, you need to calculate. Okay, so first you can take the formula for VA and for VB. So the potential at A is given by, so due to the system of charges it is there, therefore it is K into Q divided by A. That is here the distance between small q and the capital Q, that is A point, plus that is K into Q divided by A plus B. I hope you understood this. Here what happens, that is from this charge, that is from this Q charge, the potential at A is given by what? K into Q divided by the distance is what? A. Then due to this Q charge, that is capital Q charge at A, it is given by, you can see it is K into capital Q divided by A plus B. Why it is A plus B? Because the total distance is becoming A plus B here. From plus Q to cap B is A, and from B to A is B. Therefore, the total distance between capital Q charge and the A point is A plus B. So similarly, you can write the potential at B point. So the potential at B point is given by VB is equal to, that is K into, similarly we can write it, K into Q divided by A plus B plus K into Q divided by A. So students, here you can see K is common everywhere. So here they asked you the value of VA minus VB, right? VA minus VB. Just substitute all the formulas here. So what is VA? You can see it is K into Q divided by A. What is VB? K into, sorry, VA is K into Q by A plus K into Q by A plus B. VB is K into Q divided by A plus B plus K into Q divided by A. So if you substitute in the given, that is VA minus VB, here you can cancel the terms, which all the terms will get cancelled. So if you take this in bracket, so the VA term you write as it is, then minus K into Q divided by A plus B, plus into minus, it will be minus. Therefore, in the bracket, if you substitute this, nothing will get cancelled. Why? Because here the denominator term is different. Okay, then only the option what you will be doing is, here you are just simplifying inside the bracket the terms by taking the LCM. So you can take the LCM for VA, or separately you can do. Okay, students, you separately no madbodu. That is VA. Here if you take LCM, LCM is A into bracket A plus B. So you will get one term here. And for VB also you can take the LCM. You will get one single term. So whatever single terms you are getting, illen single term baratte for VA and VB after taking LCM. Adanna bracket alli substitute ಮಾಡಿ. Then later you just need to substitute the value of small q, capital Q, A value, B value, everything is given here. Only the thing is K will be taken out as it is constant. So inside the bracket, you are getting it as, I'll just give you a hint. So inside the bracket, you will be getting K into Q by B divided by A into bracket A plus B after taking the LCM. Then next K into Q into B divided by A into bracket A plus B. Okay. So K will be taken out. So take the K out and substitute all the values and you can simplify. So if you simplify, you will get the answer that is plus 60 volt. That is option A you will be getting here. That is plus 60 volt is the answer. Correct. So if you read the sum, you feel little difficult, but the solution is simple one. So before substituting in the bracket, what you do? Better take the LCM for VA and VB. Whatever answer you will get, means one term you will get for VA and VB, that you can substitute in the bracket of VA minus VB. So that simplification will be easy for you as all the values are given. Okay, we'll see the next sum. So question 3 is, a number of spherical shells of different radii are uniformly charged to same potential. The surface charge density of each shell is related with its radius as. So here what you need to do is, so surface charge density and the radius relation you require. So if you see the formula only, you can get to know the relation. Okay. So the formula for your potential and electric field intensity is, okay, we know that it is K into Q divided by V, sorry, into R divided by R is equal to V. that is potential is equal to formula. So you can simplify and you can write it as Q is equal to V into R divided by K. Okay. So the surface charge density sigma is equal to, what is the formula? It is Q divided by 4 pi R square, okay, is equal to, what is Q value from the above equation? It is VR divided by K. Here already what is there? It is 4 pi R square. You can see, you can cancel this R and R. Therefore, you can conclude from this relation as sigma is inversely proportional to what? It is 1 divided by R. Therefore, from the given option, that is option B is the correct option. Option B, that is sigma is inversely proportional to the radius value. Then our fourth question is, two conducting concentric hollow spheres A and B have radii. They have the radii value as A and B respectively. With A inside B, they have the same potential V. A is now given some charge such that its potential becomes 0. The potential of B will now become. So what is the value of potential? You need to simplify. Here you can see the solution. So they are saying that two conducting concentric hollow spheres are there. So two conducting hollow spheres you can consider A and B. So inner you can consider the radius as A and the outer one you can consider the radius as B here. Okay. With A inside B. Means small a is inside, that is the inner sphere. Bigger, that B is the outer sphere radius. It is having the charge Q. They have the same potential. Both the surfaces are having the same potential V. A is now given some charge such that its potential becomes 0. So the solution, if you understand the question, the solution part is simple. See, our equation for potential is what? V is equal to K into Q divided by, I'll take it as B. Directly I am taking. That is as the distance is B for the outer sphere. Okay. For outer sphere, you can take capital B or small b. Here in the question it is given capital B. So let us take it as capital B only. This is your equation 1. Okay. Next, what they are saying, the potential is 0. But for this outer sphere, the potential is due to the inner sphere and due to the outer sphere. Therefore, we will get it as K into Q divided by B plus K into Q dash divided by A. So this is equal to what? This is equal to 0. Suppose if I simplify here, how I can simplify? I can take out K common. So if I take out K common and transfer, that becomes 0. So you will be getting only Q by B is equal to Q dash by A. So again, if I simplify the equation for Q dash is equal to. So ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ K common ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ. So K common ತೆಗೆದ ನಂತರ if you transfer it on the other side, it will become 0. So you are getting only Q by B plus Q dash by A. Therefore, Q dash is equal to minus Q into A divided by B. This will be your equation 2. So you can take capital AB. Okay, equation 2. Next. So next what I am taking here? Next I am taking here VB. That is at potential B. Q by K into Q divided by the distance is B. In the question, it is given as radii A, small ab only. No? So here we will take small b only. Plus K into Q dash divided by B. Therefore, what I can do here, I can substitute the value KQ by B from equation 1. This is nothing but what? Your B only plus KQ dash divided by B. So from the above equation, you can see that the value is for KQ dash B, it is nothing but K into bracket minus Q into A divided by B into B. This whole divided by what? It is B. Here one B will get cancelled. Okay. Now, next if you simplify this, this becomes V plus into minus is what? Minus V A divided by B. So I'm just using the equations of A as that is first and second, and I'm simplifying. So here, what is the common term? The common term is 1, that is V. Therefore, V into bracket, it becomes 1 minus A divided by B. It becomes V into bracket 1 minus A divided by B here. So this is what the answer. So from the given equation, option B is the correct option. Option B. Okay. Fifth question, a hollow conducting sphere of radius r has a charge q on its surface. What is the electric potential within the sphere at a distance of r divided by 3? Okay, so simple question here. Inside a conducting body, the potential will be what? It is always same everywhere. Therefore, it is equal to the potential on the surface itself. Okay, therefore, the correct option is option C, that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r. Right? So why? Because here inside a conducting body, the potential is same everywhere. Therefore, it equals to the potential at the surface. Potential at the surface is given by what? It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. So it is same. That is option C is the correct option. Next question is, a spherical conductor of radius 2 meter is charged to a potential of 120 volt. So it is charged to a potential of what? 120 volt. The value of V is given. Right? Next. The radius value is given. It is 2 meter. And if it is now placed inside another hollow spherical conductor of radius 6 meter, calculate the potential to which the bigger sphere would be raised. So solution is here. In the formula directly I am substituting. The potential is how much? It is 120 volt is equal to whatever. Formula is K into Q divided by R. The value of R is also given. It is 2. So this I'll take it as equation 1. I'm just reducing one step here. Also the potential of the outer sphere is. So for outer sphere, the potential value is not given, but the radius value is given. Therefore, V is equal to K into Q divided by 6. This will be your equation 2. So from equation 1 and 2. From equation 1 and 2, what we can do here, you can simplify the given equation. How we can do is from 1 and 2, if you simplify, you will get V is equal to 40 volt here, students. V is equal to 40 volt you are getting. So how we can simplify it? You can take this K into Q divided by 6 as, so equation 2, I am just simplifying and showing you. So K into Q divided by 6, what you can do? You can also write it as K into Q divided by 6 can be written as what? 3 into 2. So what is K into Q divided by 2? K into Q divided by 2 from equation 1, it is 120 divided by 3 you are getting. So 3 ones are 3 fours are. That is option D is the correct option here. Okay. So the correct option is option D, that is 40 volt. Right. So let us see the few more MCQs in the next class. Okay, students. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you.